avoir à l'Invernaire, non?
Oui, les dernières.
It's very bad for me.
Which you
Too much for me.
Too much for me. Can you do this?
What if the craziest part about elite bodybuilders isn't the muscle itself, but the way complete strangers react the second they see it in real life? Because on screen, these physiques already look unreal, but in public, face to face, the reactions get way more intense. Some people freeze, some stare, some laugh in disbelief, and some genuinely don't know how to process what they're looking at. And once you start noticing that pattern, this whole thing gets a lot more entertaining. Back in 1977, Arnold Schwarzenegger was already operating on a completely different level, and while he was at Cannes, in what many fans consider his physical prime, he took his shirt off in front of people and instantly changed the mood around him. The women nearby were visibly surprised, and Arnold didn't just stand there awkwardly. He leaned into the moment like only Arnold could. He even showed off by making his chest move, turning a random public moment into a full spectacle. That's what made him different. It wasn't only the physique. It was the confidence, the timing, and the fact that he knew exactly how to own the room the second attention landed on him.
That's like this. It's like, yeah.
Then you get Ronnie Coleman, and the whole energy shifts. Arnold had that larger-than-life superstar feel, but Ronnie looked like raw power walking through everyday life. There he is, Mr. Olympia himself, just heading into a supermarket, and right before he walks in, a few guys coming out catch sight of him and clearly have that moment of disbelief. That's the part people love about these clips. It's not staged on a big stage. It's not under perfect lighting. It's normal life colliding with a physique that looks completely abnormal. Phil Heath brings a different kind of reaction, because now the setting is a gym, a place where impressive bodies are supposed to be common, but even there, some physiques still stop people in their tracks. While preparing for the 2013 Mr. Olympia, fans started gathering around him as he practiced posing, taking photos, and watching closely. And that's where it gets interesting. Because once posing starts, the whole vibe changes. It's no longer just a workout. It becomes a performance, and everyone around him starts reacting like they know they're watching someone at the very top of the sport. Then comes Chris, getting ready for Mr. Olympia 2020. And this one hits differently because it starts in chaos. The gym is loud, everybody's doing their own thing, weights are moving, people are talking, and the room feels normal. He's training in a tank top, blending into that atmosphere for a moment, and then he takes it off just days before stepping on stage. Suddenly, the gym goes silent. Full silence. And that reaction says everything. Because when a busy gym gets quiet, it means everybody understood at once that they were looking at a level of conditioning that almost didn't seem real.
Come over here and I'll give you your kiss.
got a beautiful body, man.
Then the tone flips with Connor Murphy, because now the moment feels more accidental and way more funny. He's posing in front of a mirror on camera, fully focused on himself, when a random girl appears in frame and reacts in a way that completely changes the clip. She keeps looking, clearly caught off guard, and the whole scene becomes memorable because it feels unplanned. That same kind of thing happens again when another girl notices a bodybuilder doing leg presses and just seems completely locked in. That's why these moments spread so hard online. People aren't only watching muscle, they're watching honest reactions to it. And then it escalates. A much bigger bodybuilder loads up extra weight for a back workout and starts with deadlifts. The second he begins pulling serious weight, heads start turning across the gym. not just one person. The whole room seems to feel it. Here's the part people miss. When a physique is impressive, people stare. But when that same physique moves brutal weight with control, the reaction becomes something else entirely. It's no longer admiration alone. It's shock. We circle back to Arnold again, this time in another older moment where he takes his shirt off and poses in front of fans, and the reaction is exactly what you'd expect from peak era Arnold. People go crazy. They shout, they cheer, they completely lose composure because he knew how to create a scene out of almost nothing. And then the montage keeps building. A bodybuilder leaving the beach catches people staring the second he comes out of the water. Another gym clip shows a girl smiling after she notices a guy deadlifting heavy weight. Little by little, the same idea keeps proving itself. Put an elite physique in a normal setting, and people react before they even mean to. Then, you get into the calisthenics clips, and those reactions hit differently, because now it's not just about size. It's about movement. One guy starts doing calisthenics so clean and so explosively that the people behind him just seem frozen. They're not even trying to hide it. Then another bodybuilder sets up for a massive squat, over 500 kilos, and a girl behind him gives that wide-eyed, open-mouth reaction that says more than any words could. That's what makes these moments so addictive. People think they know what strength looks like, until they see it in person. Another clip keeps the momentum going when a bodybuilder starts performing more exercises and calisthenic tricks, and even people in the middle of their own training stop what they're doing to look over. That pause matters. In a gym, everybody is usually locked into their own world. So if someone breaks that focus without even trying, it means what they're doing feels impossible enough to demand attention. And honestly, that's where these reactions become even more interesting than the physiques themselves. Interview. Then there's the 400-plus personal best bench press, where a girl in the background starts staring without the lifter even realizing it. The camera catches everything. That's the beauty of these clips. The bodybuilder may be focused only on the lift, but the reaction happening behind him ends up becoming half the story. And then Eddie Hall takes the insanity up another notch with an incline bench setup that gets the entire gym watching. The bigger and crazier the display gets, the more the room starts feeling less like a gym and more like an audience witnessing something ridiculous in real time. Connor Murphy shows up again, and this time the reaction becomes even more awkward and more entertaining, because a girl seems so stunned by his physique that her boyfriend reportedly pulls her away to another area. Whether people laugh at it or cringe at it, it still follows the same pattern. Shock, attention, and that weird moment where someone gets caught reacting before they can hide it. Right after that, another clip shows a bodybuilder squatting more than 400 kilos while a girl watches in visible disbelief. Once he starts moving the weight without much struggle, her reaction only gets stronger. And that's where it gets messy, because heavy weight always looks impressive, but heavy weight moved too easily almost looks fake. Then we get more calisthenics, more insane body control, and more people freezing up in the background. A boy stares. Two women seem completely stunned. Nobody really knows how to act when something looks that far outside normal human movement. Then, Chul Soon appears training shirtless in front of a group, posing while people turn to look. And later, he heads to a fitness expo where the reaction becomes even more open. Fans cheer, people film, and the whole thing turns into live entertainment. That moment matters because it shows both sides of this phenomenon. Sometimes the attention is accidental, sometimes it's invited. But either way, once the physique is there, the response comes automatically. Jeff Seid adds another angle to it, because with him it's less about mass and more about aesthetics. He takes his shirt off in the gym, starts posing for the camera, and a guy behind him can be seen staring at him. It's a quieter clip, but it still works for the same reason. People instantly recognize when they're seeing a physique built to an extreme level, even if they don't say a word. And then we end where this whole energy really exploded, back with Arnold in 1977, during a magazine shoot with models around him. Even there, the attention is obvious. One of the girls appears completely drawn in by his physique, and the clip captures the exact same thing we've been seeing all the way through this video. The stare, the pause, that involuntary reaction when somebody sees a body that barely looks real. Different decade, different setting, same result. That's probably why these clips never get old. It's not just the muscle, and it's not only the fame. It's that split second where somebody sees something so extreme in real life that their expression gives them away before they can control it. So after all these moments, all these stares, and all these reactions, here's the real question. If you saw one of these guys shirtless in public, with no warning, would your reaction be any different?